Getsemenina Christo Yerashase Vyase bonini Naye adeswa Nichiso Arire hushe Nakumaso Naokase Sebetumia makuei nchame oponisue ni monyambe simane opreniwase kosiase nianu Achichieni oyamu osinebu dinikratuho seyadasa benyakwa wakumani wajinina naseudo yonku udo unia seua sasasieni dani utu mipo tutu Okupumumpa insuro noka da Yesu
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is yet another day, a new day, a bright Sunday, a day that the Lord has made, that we should all be glad and rejoice in it. You wouldn't like this day. Which other day would you prefer to have as a Sunday, a day of that you are not working? Most of us are not working, some of us are working. Today is yet another episode of From the Beginning. We have our beautiful sister here with us. Discovery, nursing. What is in nursing? What have you been able to discover in nursing? I called whoever has worked in nursing for more than 10 years or 10 years, I call that person a legend because it's not easy to go through that journey. Therefore, we have a legend in nursing here, sister, our beautiful sister, Betty Mensah.
Hello.
Ms. Mensah, you're welcome to Richmond Media.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you
It's a
so much for
privilege
coming.
and an honor to be called upon to come and be a guest on your program. I'm so touched. Thank you.
And I'm pleased to have you. She was my classmate at the University of Bedfordshire. So we have something in common to give it to you this afternoon. We completed the same year, the same day we had our graduation. We work from the same background, the same hospital, almost the same directorate as well. Yeah, we
Yeah.
both started from the surgical wards, but different
Yes.
wards, those. But how
Yes.
far the Lord has taken us up to this point, we are very grateful to God and we are happy to meet once again. Sister Betty, you're welcome once again to Richmond Media.
Thank you.
Friends and family, whoever is watching us this afternoon or listening to us, we really appreciate you and we would love to acknowledge you. Therefore, don't forget to send us a comment. Even if high, we'll be able to identify you. But don't be selfish. Please share the link, share the news to your friends and family. Tell them the good news that we have for them this afternoon. In their life journey, are they stuck? Wherever they are stuck, they will be able to continue from there. Today, maybe Sister Betty's journey will help them to call themselves to get back to the track so that they will also find their way to their destination in terms of profession. Sister Betty, I know you. I can tell you to other people, but everyone watching us might not know you or might have seen you before but don't know who you are. Brother George Akon says, good afternoon, nice program, watching you live from Ghana in the Volta region. Brother George, thank you so much for always spending time with us. We really appreciate you. The fact that you are with us all the time and continue to be with us. Call the family members and friends to join us this afternoon as we listen to Sister Betty Mensah. Sister Betty, who are you, if I may ask, please?
My name, as you already know, is Betty Mensah. I was born by Mr. Mensah, the original Mr. Mensah, and Miss Ya Mensah. I was born in Ghana, raised in Ghana, lived in Ghana for a while. Then I relocated to the UK. But prior to that, I used to come in and out. It was Germany then when my parents were for holidays. So yeah. But when I turned 16, actually on my 16th birthday, I relocated permanently to the UK and I've been here since.
Oh, thank you. So you are one of the bogus girl, bogus daughter that you were
Yes,
working out of. That's good. That
yes,
means
the
you
bogus
were.
child, the pink knees, the trousers. Yes, I'm
That is
part of
great
that
to know.
generation.
That is. So where did life? We know you were born in Ghana. Which school did you start? Yeah, did your journey
Yeah,
start?
we changed schools quite a lot because our parents mostly were not with us in Ghana. So I started from Gionsdes International School, went through my primary there. Then we relocated to my grandma's, and that was in Coco. We schooled there for a while. Then we moved back to Accra. Then I went to Black Child school. Then from Black Child, I went to boarding school. That was my secondary. I went to my secondary. So that's where I finished. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to go to the university in Ghana. But the little experience that I did have, schooling in Ghana has really helped in life because, like, looking back, it sets you up to be disciplined. Comparing my childhood education and that my children are getting now is nothing compare. The only thing that maybe they will change or they have to change is the way they used to beat us. That was it. But apart from that, you have your clean socks, you have your clean shoes, like you do your homework. It really brought us far because it made us very disciplined. When we were in the boarding school in secondary, we had prep. You will sit down and you will learn. And when we came here, we started learning. Like, you have that at the back of your mind. So nobody will tell you to go get your books. You will get your books and you will read. So yes, growing up in Ghana, it was fun. It was fine. I was privileged because of the background of my parents. It wasn't a tough life, but on the other hand, living without your parents has got its own how do you call it, consequences in life. But my parents, most especially my mom, made it so convenient for us that even when she's not there, you feel her presence around you. She will call, she will write you letters, she will send you stuff, and it was quite, encouraging. So like from a younger age, myself and my siblings, we've grown to support each other because that's all that we had. So like if I have a problem, instead of calling a friend, I'll call my brother, I'll call my sister. So that kind of unity, as you like, if you see us, you will know that like we are always together. So those were some of the advantages that like we had, not having our parents around all the time.
Thank you so much. So, when you got to the UK, how did you make your journey into nursing?
When I got to the UK, I had finished, as I did mention, I had finished secondary in Ghana. And those days, even still now, the qualifications that we did have then, you can't convert it here. So I went into college, but before going to college, I had to get certificates from here because they wouldn't take the ones from Ghana. So there was it's still around. There was this online thing that they used to do, was called Learn Direct. My mom took myself and my sister there, so we got some grades, we got some certificates. Then from there, we went to college. And the funny thing is, like, when you come here or when you relocate, like being born in Ghana, your motives are quite different because one, your goal is to better yourself, but on the other hand, you want money. You understand? So I remember when I was in college, or when I started college, I was working at a night at a warehouse in London. Then I used to work with my dad. So I would go to work at night time. Then in the morning, I'll sleep for maybe sometimes an hour, and my dad would drive me to college. It wasn't easy. It was very, very tough. Sometimes, like waking up after that hour to go to college, like you were so tired. But my parents were very, very courageous. Like they will encourage you, like you can't do this forever. At one point in time, you will get tired working in the warehouse, you know. And even looking back, when you have your children, if you tell them to go to school, they will tell you that even yourself, you didn't educate yourself. You had all the opportunities to educate yourself when you could, but you didn't. So I was like, okay. So I kept going, so I did my access to nursing course. And unfortunately, then when we were going to go to uni, I couldn't go with my mates because as at then, if you had not lived in the UK for 3 years, you are not entitled to go to the uni, even if you want to pay as an international student, because we had that option, but it was impossible. My parents were ready to, do put that across for me to go, but like that options were not there. So I had to stay a year, how do you call it, behind. So that was when I started working at the hospital that we both worked. So working there, I worked there for a while, and it was not easy, especially people from our background. They were making funny comments that like, as a young girl, you're supposed to go to school and you're here and you're doing this. Like you will literally feel it to your bone. But it didn't get to me. I knew what my plan was. I knew what I was trying to achieve. So I went on and I did it. And to God be the glory, when I qualified, I went back to the same hospital, and the people that were looking down on me then, I was telling them what to do.
That's a great news. So, what college did you go to?
I went to, then it was Dunstable College, but now it's Bedfordshire College.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did. Then I had to do pre-access to nursing. Then after the pre-access to nursing, I did the access to nursing. Again, as I said, like the upbringing that we got in Ghana put us through a lot, but at the end, it helped. Because when we were in college, I was very, very quiet, very, very respectful. And my other colleagues, when the teacher say one, they will say 1,000. I won't argue back. So then there was two of them, one lady by the name Frances and another teacher by the name Ray. They really liked me. Then I had sent my how do you call it, my passport to the Home Office for me to get I think that then was, you get the 5 years, and after the 5 years you get the indefinite. So whilst I was waiting to get the indefinite, the college said I couldn't school because at that point in time I didn't have immigration status. We were like, well, this is a letter from the Home Office. They were like, no, you have to withdraw. So I withdrew. It was very painful. But because of the behavior that I put up in school, very quiet, very respectful,
Sorry, Sister
and
Betty. We
I,
didn't hear. We didn't hear you. It was breaking up.
we
If
know,
you repeat, yeah, when you were
yeah,
quiet, yeah.
yeah. So they called me back. They called me back and they said, although this is what we will, although this is what's happening now, we will send you your homework and other bits, and you'll be doing it. So it's like you're out of college, but you're still in time. So I'll do me my grades. I didn't fall behind.
That's good.
I didn't fall behind. And the most, life, sometimes you don't understand it. When I qualified, I think on my third shift, I walked into my bay, and guess who was there? The tutor that helped me.
Oh, that was
We
good.
both cried that day. And she was so happy. She was like, that's my student, that's my student, that's my student. And I'm like, at that point in time, she was putting her career at risk. She was putting, everything at risk. But at the end, it paid off. I ended up nursing her when she was poorly.
Yeah, that's true. That was a great
That's
opportunity.
how it was. It was. It was. So that's
Thank
how
you, Sister Betty.
I got into nursing, and for now we are still in it. For now we are still in
Thank you,
nursing.
Sister Betty, for how far you have taken us step by step from Ghana, from Germany, Ghana, then from Nkoko, from Accra to Nkoko, from Nkoko back to Accra, and then to my secondary school, then finally to the UK. Now, UK, the God was gracious to you for you to even get the favor that people cannot get. And now here you are, a nurse. One may ask, who is a nurse, please?
And this, in my own definition, because I always say we have a nurse and we have a nurse. A nurse is somebody who is very passionate. To me, it's the passionate, because we've got so many nurses that are not passionate and they love what they are doing. Some people are into nursing because of the money, which I don't even see the money, because like other people doing other things and more. And with what we kind of take on board, it's not how much, it does not compare to what they are paying us. As we all We've been fighting for pay rise. They tried to give us something, but even with that, it was not enough. So, in my point of view, a nurse is somebody who is passionate about taking care of poorly people, not necessarily ill health, but any aspect. Some people might not be ill in terms of health, but they might be ill mentally. You get what I'm coming from?
I
So,
do
in my point
understand.
of view,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you, Sister Betty, for giving us your own definition of nursing, which requires passionate and loving what you are doing. And that makes you a real nurse. Someone was here and the person said she interviewed someone and why the person wants to be a nurse, and the person said, oh, because of the pay. As soon as the person mentioned that, she was disqualified, because if you talk about only the pay, then you are not into the right profession.
Of course,
Therefore, you don't
of
deserve to
course.
be a nurse. But be passionate, compassionate, loving what you are doing. Thank you, Sister Betty. It's a nursing journey a mere thing or a profession? Because our own people, oh, nursing, they said there. I mean, until I got into nursing, then I said, whoever uses that word, I'm going to deal with that person, because it's not just a mere thing. But in your way, your point of view, what can you tell us about that? Is nursing just a mere thing or a profession, please? Thank you.
I think it depends on where you trained and the trust or the hospital that you trained in and the country that you trained in. You get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
No disrespect to, the people that I'm coming to talk about. But if you compare the nursing in UK and nursing in Ghana, the difference is vast. That's why sometimes most of the international nurses come here, they find it very, very, very difficult because nursing back home in Ghana, they don't do personal care. You understand? But here we do personal care. You have to actually, sometimes you have to beg people to take their medication, which you've had so many encounters with that. Even your tone of voice, the way you speak to people, it's different from the way you would speak to, a patient back. A relative will call, I'm talking about the UK here, wants an update. You will spend like 30 minutes on the phone giving them updates. They will come back again to the ward and they want another update. You don't have a choice. You just have to smile and give them the updates. But in Ghana, ah, you know what will happen. So like it's very different because I go to Ghana quite often, and few occasions I've been to hospitals in Ghana, and I look at some of our nurses and I'm like, no chance. You won't survive a day in the UK with this kind of attitude with nursing. You can't. But having said that, it's the way of life. It's a way of life. I had a patient quite recently, went on holiday, I think I think one of the islands in Africa. And unfortunately she broke her leg. And she was talking about her experience. I laughed and she was like, why? And I'm like, I understand because I have seen it. People might think in the UK, nurses are not doing their best. But when you go to other places, you come back and you come and applaud us.
Thank you, Sister Betty. So, how do you find nursing? Like you've told me that anyway, you have already compared, so I don't even need to ask you that question again. As a Ghanaian, practicing nursing in the UK, that you can see we are lacking something back home. What do you think we can do to help those nurses in Ghana, if they are listening to us at this moment?
We can say whatever we want to say, but the question is, are they willing to accept? Are they willing to change? You understand? Sometimes, even when you go over to ask them a question, the the body language alone, that's why I say you have to be compassionate with what you are doing, not only in nursing, but even when you go to the bank, like, I have fought
Customer
several times.
service.
I have fought several times at the airport. Now I'm tired. Tired. You understand? Like, communication. Our communication is everybody at the top wants you to know that they are the top,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But even here, you can see somebody really high up, but if they don't tell you, you wouldn't know. So I think this is the kind of things that we have to learn.
Yes, that's true. You know one thing, my chief of nursing came to us to serve us, coffee, tea, and some cookies. And really, I was really appreciative because you know, I saw her walking and she was just hanging her bag. Ghana, when a chief nursing is coming, someone will be holding the bag
You
and
will
another
stand and
person will be
salute.
holding the
You
hand.
understand? If even like, I'm not even nurses, doctors as well. And that's one thing that like some of our people lack. If I need something from you for a patient, I will come. And like we've got this thing here, especially most of our international nurses that have moved to the UK nowadays. You have to have confidence. After all, they are human. You understand? Even to go ask something for, they are afraid. It's English. If you use your past tense, past participle, and just run it over, you've said whatever you want to see. Regardless of accents, they will understand you.
No, the problem that I think they are encountering is, when you are back home, you think that, oh, I will not hear the English from the white person's perspective. That's what. So it is just something like, I'll call it is psychological. It's something psychological which we need to take it out of us. I said no. If you live with them, they are talking just like the same way that you are talking, and you hear
Even
every
sometimes
word.
our
There's no
constructions
difference.
are even better. Our
Yes,
constructions,
that's
our
true.
vocabularies are even better.
That's true.
When we are expressing ourselves, it's just the confidence,
That's true.
and that's
Hold
the
on.
other thing.
There is something here. Sister Tai Muhammad says, nursing is not a child's play. Like Sister
I
Betty
tell you,
said, you have to be passionate, caring. I think nursing where compared to UK is totally different. She continues to say that very true, they will come and appreciate what they are abusing. And then she states that back in Africa, they will have a PA to carry their bag, matron, chief nurse, and so on.
that's why I want to relocate to Ghana. So when I'm coming, they're like, hey, matron is coming, grada, 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 they'll be moving here.
You be
They won't even,
running
they won't
life.
even, the
Yeah.
matron for where? It's
May
not
God have
easy.
mercy on
It's
us.
not
Yeah.
easy.
To do the right thing.
It's not easy.
So, are you able to achieve your set targets in life as a living legend in nursing?
It depends on what you set yourself as. Being a proud Ghanaian woman. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. You get your limitations. Just, I think 2 days ago, I was discussing with two colleagues of mine who fortunately are Ghanaians. And we were saying that It's not that we don't want to get to the top, but the commitment, because you have to think about childcare, you have to think about this, you have to think about that. It's just too much for us. And as you know, even the NMC has made mention the way like we get promoted, we are the least at the bottom. The promotion will come, they will not give you. That's the reason why I left to do agency, because it's very heartbreaking. You work, you put everything in there, and the one that just qualified 2 days ago will be a band 6. And you can clearly see that you even got more skills, more qualifications, but just because of your skin tone, you wouldn't get.
But now I can see that things are changing now.
No,
Things are really
Hannah is
changing.
still the same. Trust me, Hannah is still the same. Even if they will give it to you, they will frustrate your life.
They
They
will
will.
frustrate your life, huh, Betty? Now the olden days, pressure that people were giving to us, that is not adding up to a long life is gone. You don't allow anyone to frustrate your life because the law is there. Now they are talking of in all inclusive, and is it diversity and equality? If really we are implementing diversity and
Madam,
equality, it should be no every
diversity,
corner.
Hannah, diversity and equality comes when it's appealing to whoever. You understand? I had, quite recently, I'm not going to call the name of the hospital.
That's great.
We were working there, and we are not allowed to have false nails. I have seen, people even at the top, band 6s, band 7s with nails. They don't say anything. One of our colleagues, like me, went to do, they just tunneled it, everybody hearing that it's not acceptable, da, 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 da. But meanwhile, your people are doing. So where is the diversity here? You get what I mean?
No, Betty, if we have to put our feet on the grounds, you know what? If it's not good for A, if it's not good for B, it happens to me.
Then you become a target.
No, you better be a target when there is a barrier. And if we don't find a way to cross over that barrier, if we don't face the challenges that are surrounding that barrier, we will never get over it. So it is time. It happens. Some similar thing happens somewhere. Oh no, it wasn't me. It was other people. But I stood in and I said, you know what? If it's not good for red, it's not good for brown. So if we are giving it for red, the same applications should go for the brown. There is no difference. We all have eyes. We have one head. No one has two heads. No has three eyes. No has two nose. It has two nostrils, a nose. The same thing. So it is time we have to face all these challenges that they are throwing to us. And then gradually, but before you face it, I am someone, before I speak up, sometimes I can be as stupid as I am. But when I'm speaking up, I have my evidence. So I
Definitely.
quote you from the day that's this, that. And then you will be standing there looking at my face because the evidence is there backing up my statement. That makes
Definitely.
me having a strong argument. Yeah. So we cannot just leave it like that. We
It's
have to
true.
overcome that. Because
It's
whatever
true.
it takes, we are working together. The same university they went is the same university we have attended. The skills that are required from every nurse, from whoever it is the same thing that is expected of me.
Most cases, even better.
Exactly.
Most cases, even better.
Yeah.
Most cases, even better. So I think the other thing that people have to bear in mind when coming to nursing is you really have to have a tough skin, like very tough, unshakable, unmovable, because the challenges they will come. They will give you the most confused, the most poorly, the most complicated patients. They will give it to you one, two, three. If you master it and you do it and see everything as a learning curve, you understand? And you make sure you read your hospital policies. I like my policies. You will tell me to this. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. The hospital policy says so and so and so and so. So you can't force me. That's the thing. Because you
Do you
have, as you
remember?
said, you have to do your background checking.
Yes. Do you remember when we were in school, when one small girl stood up to say, "What are you people?" Referring to, because it was black people that were, when I was standing up, you said, "No, Hannah, stop." No, there are some nonsense that no, they have to stop. You don't
They
wait.
have to.
And so money kodure chire, because edure chire, yeah, the person thinks, say, what the person is doing to you, she has the right to do. No, you don't have the right. We have equal right. The fact that we are doing the same job and we are living within the same area, the same country, abiding by the laws of the country, following the policy of the trust that you are, you can't. We have to stand up, my dear. Who has been your
Unfortunately, you know what? I think we have to have another day for this thing, because like when it comes to issues with nursing, especially with our skin tone, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And like you will have to get all the support that you get. There is this trust that of late I work in. Tread spa. Oh, and the NMC, you will lose your pin, and the NMC. I'm like, listen, I'm not a baby in nursing. What you guys are. I called one of their majors. I'm like, listen, you cannot come back here threatening me, because like even I haven't even started my work and you're putting fear in me. Fear is another one thing that I will not take. But I said that because I know what I'm doing. But if you don't know your A, B, C, D, E, how can you challenge? As you said, before you challenge, you have to put your feet down. And you have to learn, you have to update yourself day in, day out. Things are, changing. If you are not sure, you ask. As I did make mention earlier, we've got policies, because the last thing that you need is, facing the NMC.
Sister Betty, there is something our brother Gavin is saying, that there is no real change. It's mostly a fuss, a tick box exercise to show and pretend that something is happening.
Thank you.
Sadly, I agree with your guests. You know what?
Thank you.
This topic is very important. Inequalities at work. We will have. I'll get one of the people from the diversity and equality team member here. I'll get you, Betty. I will get maybe Brother Gavin if he will join us. And I will find a way if I can get one white manager for us to talk about this issue on this platform, because there are some nonsense that needs to
It's
stop.
very, very
Yeah,
sad though.
yes. Sister
Sis,
Betsy, hold on.
sis.
Sister Tai says, also, I will say some of our African nurses want to quickly jump into agency within 6 months. I think that is where some of them get it wrong, because I understand where sister is coming from. That all maps up to the monetary aspect. But if
Unfortunately,
you don't have the skills,
I
if you
joined
don't have the
agency
skills,
after
yeah.
3 months. So am I wrong? I joined agency after 3 months because one, the money was not equalizing. Two, my heart could not take what was
The
going on.
nonsense. We
That's
put it
a
that way. That's the
full
right
ward
word.
manager.
Yeah.
like she had, and we those days we used to have bedside handover. The way this lady will embarrass you in front
Embarrass you
of
in front of
patient, I'm like,
everyone. And she
listen,
wouldn't do that to other people. No, if you can't do that to other people, you cannot do that to me. Because
her
that person
people,
is not different from me.
she'll be like, oh, it's a 24-hour care. Da, 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 da. I'm like, eh. And what really annoyed me the most, my eldest daughter, she was sick, and my mom brought her to A&E in Luton. I want to go and see my daughter. She was like, no, finish medication run. I'm like, eh? I just dropped everything. And the following day, I came back with my resignation letter. Whereas that same week, somebody's cat had died. She had a week. Dana. Dana. She had a week compassionate leave. Cat's daughter. Mm-mm. I think this is meant for another day.
Yeah.
But all I can say is, if you're ready to get into nursing, have a tough skin. Have it, because
It's,
like I have seen so many people, like one not long ago, about 2 months ago, a very young, newly qualified girl came to where I was working with overdose. And I'm like, has it gotten to that stage? At least with our background, we are a bit tougher. Her colleagues are bullying her, da, 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 and she's from our back, not like our background, but like, same as us. She couldn't handle the pressure. You understand? Nursing, as the lady said, it's not for the weak.
she
It's
said,
not.
I continue to say that it's advisable to know your opinions. And then she continues to say, Sister Betty, you have been here a bit and has different work experience, while someone who has just got here in 6 months. What she means that someone just coming from maybe, let me use my background, Ghana, and then within a short time, 6 months, the person wants to jump into agency because the person hasn't got enough experience. Meanwhile, thinking about the monetary aspects of the job, not
That's what
getting the
I'm
right
saying. That
skill.
like you have to know your stuff.
Yeah.
You have to, and like with me, I'm a Christian, so with my Christian background, as soon as before I enter the word, I'm praying, like God, just take over. Because as agency, you're not going to have it easy. They will give you the most poorly, the most complicated patients. You understand? So a little bit of prayer, a little bit of knowledge how to manage your staff, and we're thankful, like the trust that we too qualified
So,
in. It was a teaching hospital, and I'll always say this: whoever went to that, hospital, you are wherever they put you, you can work. You understand? I remember on my first day, I had only qualified 3 days, 3 months. I had a cardiac arrest. First day agency, 3 months newly qualified, cardiac arrest. What do I do? I did what I had to do, my ABCDE. When I finished, one of the matrons was there, and she was like, do you want a band 6 post? I was like, me that have come to taste this little bit of agency money, no thank you, just keep it. You will give it to me and you will frustrate my life. Thankfully, when we were in nursing school, there was a band, how do you call it, a ward manager in one of the respiratory wards, and she's from our background. So
oh
I
yeah,
used to
yeah,
joke,
I
yeah,
remember her.
you
Yeah,
remember that lady?
yeah, I remember.
Yes. So I got closer to her and I could see she was like, they are not making it like audit after audit, this after this, and like the pressure. I left my job to the sense that like sometimes I get to meet people and you have to listen. I had another one from a different hospital, not even the county that I was, but she couldn't even go to her hospital because of the stigma and the shame. Why? Because she's turned into an alcoholic, she's turned into a drug addict. And like, in nursing, you can easily slip into those lanes. So it's like it's there. Because you go, you have a very stressful shift, you come back, oh, 1 glass of wine. Before you realize, oh, let me have 2 glasses of wine. Before you realize, 1 bottle. I have friends who are consultants and like alcohol. You know what? Like it's a very, very demanding job, and you have to be emotionally strong to pull through. If not, you know, people that like senior positions, and now they are even homeless. They are even homeless because you take time to care for people and you forget about yourself. That's another thing. You take time. You're always needed. At hospital, you're needed. You're needed. You come home, your kids needs you. Nighttime, you're going to sleep. You've done 11.5 hour shifts. You've been doing your doubles. You're tired. Nighttime, you're sleeping. Your husband is also like, where do you start? Where do you end? You understand? So like you are always drained. You are always drained. But you have to find that fine line and know that like this is I call it timeout. This is my timeout. No, no, nothing. Like phone off, everything of every like it's my mean time. And like you shouldn't make nursing your whole world. That's another important thing. You should have other side things that you are doing because like it can just blow off like that in your face. You understand? You never know. I'm not wishing that for anybody, but it can happen at any time. Have a hobby, read. Me, I don't even have time to read. I like gardening. So when some after my long stressful shift, you see me and my flowers, I'll be watering them and I'm talking to my flowers. I'm okay with that. When I finish, I go and shower and I go to bed. At least have something and have a support system. Somebody that like after a bad day, I remember when I graduated, my mom said to me, you know what, I think I need to come because everything that has happened within this, from writing of essays and everything, she'll be sitting by me and I'm typing. And when we finished, like even on my graduation, I was pregnant with my first one. My chair, I need to come back for them to give me that chair again. To
Don't
give me
worry,
that.
you will definitely come back. Sister Josephine Adebi says, enjoying the conversation from Ghana. Sister Tai continued to say that, could it be that bad if you rang to say you just lost your dad and they ask you, so when will you be back to work? Yeah,
Ah,
you are just calling to say that you've
cut,
lost your dad.
cut one
And
week.
someone is asking you,
Cut
yeah,
one week.
a day. No, the
Cut
same
one week.
day. The very same day. Meanwhile, there are other people that have gone through the same process or have been through the same circumstances, that are being pampered, that have been given some time off, that are being given card written. No, I will challenge that. It's not me. It's not me that you are doing it to me, but the fact that you are doing it to someone that I know, someone, it could be me. It's happening to that person today. It could be me another day. And it could be the same kind of attitude or treatment that you will be giving to me. So if I am there and I see this going down, and another one also called to say that I've lost my thing, and then, oh, we have to write a card. I will tell you I'm not writing the card. And I will tell you the reason why I'm not writing the card. Because I have evidence. I've seen those that have been in that situation that you have ignored. Are they not human beings? Are they not doing the same job as those people are? Is it because of their color? Is it because of their background? I will not sit there for you to treat someone badly. So
Definitely,
therefore,
it's
that
happening.
needs to be
It,
sorted or
it's
to be dealt
it's
with.
happening. But as we did make mention, like you have to be prepared to, because in my instance, like I started questioning certain things. The next thing you will know, they'll be going to patients. Oh, how was your care? Did you receive the best care? Did she get you of this on time? I'm like, and so there were certain plots. And then my mentor, bless her, wherever she is, Mother Lydia, she was like a mother to me. She had hovered over me that 3 months that I was on that ward. She said to me, girl, it's time to move. When
I
she's
see.
going on annual leave, she will tell me, I'm going on annual leave. So you also have to book that time off because she's not sure of what's going to. And this hospital is a hospital that, like, they follow all things to adults. You will send everything. Currently I've got this how do you call it, case with the how do you call it, LCN, that we are actually putting bringing a whole hospital down.
Wow.
Can you imagine? My car nearly got stolen. My car nearly, like, I have to go and get my car keys from the lady from taking my car. And one of the senior people at the top said to me, keep quiet and don't tell anybody. They went to court. There was a court hearing, but because of ours, none of us went there. They didn't call any of us. Maybe our accents, like nothing,
Sister
nothing.
Betty, um, maybe it's our accent, maybe it's our color, maybe it's our background. But I believe no matter what it is, we should all be treated equally. Now, people, they are finding it hard to get nurses to work. If they continue to treat people like this, how can we maintain the staff that we have? Therefore, we need to deal with this. I will get someone on your next appointment with us. I get someone from the that team, minority and equality, whatever team,
It's very
and then the
important.
person will come and also show us. Maybe we don't know how to go about it, where to go when all these nonsense are, you know, going on or protruding, whatever word I have to put it there, in nursing, in our daily work. It's not only in nursing, because one of our brother
It's
is not a
everywhere.
nurse, but he's also experiencing something. He's seeing what we are seeing. This is our home. We are living here. At the moment, we need to be appreciated. We need to be part. We have to be given the same opportunity as everyone else. We shouldn't sit down for us to be treated differently.
It's
Therefore, we
true.
will not have the joy to continue to do the work that we have been called for.
Very true.
Today's episode, it has been very, very interesting because it has been very, very interactive. We've not finished all our questions, but could you please summarize yourself as we bring today's from the beginning episode to an end, and we will continue another day. We have number of people for everyone to bring their opinion, and we see where we can take that one to. It might not be our own, that might not be helping us, but it will help our generation and people who are yet to join the nursing team from whichever background that they are coming from. Sister Tai Mohammed say, thank you, Sister Betty, for sharing your journey with us. Thank you, Sister Tai, for your time and everything. Sister Betty, we're coming to the end. Do you have anything that you want to share or summarize your points as we end the program? Thank you.
All I can say is you always have to have a focus in life. Whatever you do, wherever you're going, you have to have a focus and have a background, a backing. I am a Christian, so my backing is good. If I go to work and they treat me bad, I come back, I'm like, God, you saw it. You created us all in the same day. And one thing I have realized of late is presentation. The way you present yourself, that's the same way people are going to treat you. You understand? I'm not
Yes.
saying go and bring your designer, clothes from your closet and wear it to work, but your hair done, you know, skin moisturized, a little bit of perfume, not like Momone Kobe kind of scent in your hair everywhere. Because if you want to be seen and to be heard, you have to be presentable, unfortunately, at this point. And always, always, always don't stop learning. Read your journals because things change with time. That's when you can question, that's when you can argue things. You understand? Because if you know your A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever, even if it's the chief exec, when they come to you, you will put them in their place, won't you? Because you know what you are saying.
Exactly.
And yeah. And the other thing that I can say as well, I'm a mother, so I will say as a mother is, despite our busy life, what we've got going on, let your children understand what they do. My son, when I come back from work, hi, mommy, how was your shift? Did anybody go to heaven today? Don't worry, it's okay for people to go to heaven. He understands. And even when I'm not there, they know where I'm going, what I'm doing, and the reason why I'm doing it. So they don't feel alone. Maybe because I was left when I was younger, maybe I've created that how do you call it, that environment for them to feel secure, as what my parents did, that even when they are not around, I feel that they are around me. And you know, to be very sad, um nowadays, maybe when we get time, we'll get a social worker, which my sister is. Like, they are taking our children from us just because of these minor things. You
If you
understand?
encounter any problem, let us know. We have social workers that can support you
You
during
understand?
those times. So if you encounter any small problem that you think it's not something that they have to stand on to do, just get in touch with us. We can get connected to someone to help you.
And we
Sister
have
Betty,
to be
yeah,
united as
yeah,
our own people.
that's
We have to share the information as much as we can, because it's about time. That's all I can say. It's about time.
Thank you so much for your time, and to everyone who has made it possible for this program to come on this afternoon. It has been very, very enjoyable program, and I hope we shall meet you the same time next week from the beginning at 4 p.m. UK time every Sunday. Today, our guest is Sister Betty Mensah, and my name is Hanna Bimah as usual. Until next week, have a great week. Thank you so much for watching us from the beginning, from Richmond Media. Thank you.
For making sure so
to